All right, guys. So I just got home, just finished a pretty decent workout. If you want to see a little bit of that, go to my Instagram at MASEAYJR. Yeah, go do that. But anyway, I just got home, and on the way home, a little something popped into my head, and I wanted to make a quick video about it. And it's just a few things that I personally like to keep in mind on this journey of fitness. And I know it sounds a little corny or whatever. You know, some people might say it's not that serious, you're just working out, whatever. But, um, you know, as a passion, sorry, my dog is right here. But yeah, um, with fitness being a passion of mine, um, I would like to think that I like to hold some values to it, you know, some personal values, just like anybody else would with anything else, you know. But anyway, on the way home, yeah, just thought of a few things that I personally keep in mind, and I'm gonna go over those really quickly. The first thing is to carve your own path, and what I mean by that is, you know, everybody, everybody's everybody within this industry, within this area of interest, whatever you want to call it, everybody's gonna have their own, you know, personal interest because it's not just bodybuilding, it's not just physique, it's not just powerlifting, it's not just one thing. There's like I said in my first video, there's so many different avenues that you could go within this industry. But ultimately, it's up to the individual to decide which one he enjoys the most, he or she enjoys the most. And once you find your little niche within the industry, you go for that with everything that you have. You don't try to be the next guy. You know, everybody isn't gonna be Ronnie Coleman or Arnold Schwarzenegger um, within the bodybuilding world. Everybody's not going to be, you know, Ed Cohen in the powerlifting world. Everybody's not going to be the all-time greats or whatever. So instead of trying to chase them, trying to be like the greatest people ever, you be your own person and you figure out what it is that you want to do within whichever one you want to do. You know, right now, I'm all in on powerlifting. I don't care about you know being on the men's physique stage right now. You know that's just not me right now. Now later on down the road, do I want to do a show? Of course, I want to do everything at some point later on down the road. But right now, my interest lies in powerlifting, and I want to see how far I can go with that. Not to be, you know, not to try to be the next greatest powerlifter of all time, but just because that's what I enjoy doing. I love the training of it. I love preparing for the meets. I love all of that. So I'm going for that with everything I have right now. Anyway, the second thing, be open to all advice, but take none without independently thinking. Um, and what I mean by that is I'm sure anybody that goes to the gym on a regular basis is probably gonna, if you don't have anybody coming to you personally, you're gonna see people going to other people all the time trying to offer them advice. Some of it is good advice, most of it is terrible advice. Um, but the thing about it is, you can't always, you can't necessarily shut down the advice that people might have for you because some of it actually ends up being good advice. But at the same time, don't take all of it at face value. If somebody comes up and tells you, you know, um, hey, your elbows are a little bit too tucked on that bench press, or um, you need to drop the weight, or you need to stop using your back so much, or whatever they tell you, you take it and you listen to it. Okay, he's giving me advice. At least he's taking time. He or she's taking time out to give me advice. But you go out on your own and you find out whether that's valid or invalid advice. I've gotten so many different people trying to give me advice over my, you know, 6 or 7 years of training, and most of it has been absolutely terrible advice. I've gotten a few good things said, but most of it has been bad. But I didn't. The thing about it is, when people give me advice, I don't immediately just shut it down, because that's terrible. That's a bad way of thinking, not just in the fitness industry, but just in general. If is trying to somebody's taking their time out of the day to try to help you with something, then you need to at least consider that fact, and at least give their advice a chance, or do your own independent research on it. And if it ends up being wrong, then now you know. But you never know until you do that research on your own. Um, so yeah, that's that. The third thing, an ego is okay, but learn to control it. Now the thing about this is, people might deny it or whatever, but let's face it, pretty much all of us that are into this fitness game, pretty much all of us have a pretty big ego. That's this whole industry is essentially based off of an ego. Like, when you really think about it, being on stage, trying to be the leanest, most shredded guy on stage, trying to be the strongest guy at the powerlifting meets. Everything that you do, it's all based on ego. And I'll openly admit that I love, going into the gym and ripping 500 plus pounds off the ground. I love squatting 500 plus or benching 300 plus, and I enjoy, getting compliments or getting people that watch me do these things, and that all feeds into my ego. But the thing about it is, I've come to accept the fact that what I do, my passion, is a little bit based off of ego. But I've also learned how to not let that control me, not to let that, you know, my dog's butt is all in my face. But yeah, I've learned to let that not take over me in a negative way, and I've decided to use it. I've learned to use it as a positive, and to try to get better at my craft. My craft being, fitness, getting stronger, getting leaner, building more muscle. Um, I've used that as positive reinforcement with that, and that's definitely something that you should do too. That you should keep in mind. The fourth thing is be in it for the long run. Um, this one, this one is definitely for those that are more serious about this, about working out, about fitness, whatever. But it applies to pretty much everybody. This is one of those things where if you're gonna do it, you can't just get in this for a month and expect to be the most jacked, the strongest, the whatever, the best version of yourself that you can be within a month. This is something that takes years and years and years and years to even get to a good level, a good overall level of strength, of fitness, of whatever. So this is something you have to be prepared to put the time in. I've been I've been doing this now, what, 6 or 7 years, and I'm still not even close to my peak in terms of strength and everything. Um, and I don't want to be close to it. A lot of people tend to seem it seems like they want to be at their genetic potential, or at their strength potential, whatever. People tend to say, oh man, this is it, this is all I can do. It's getting harder and harder, which is supposed to over time. But people don't realize that even after 5, 6, 7 years of training, you still have a long ways to go. I mean, it takes a long time. But um but anyway, that's it. Be in it for the long run. Be ready to pretty much dedicate the rest of your life to this. Or if you're not as serious about it, be willing to put more time into it. And the last thing is have fun. Um, this is in order to last within this, in order to keep things interesting, in order to do all of the things that I mentioned before this, you have to be able to have fun. You know, of course, of course, you have people like me who are more serious about training, who are training with specific goals in mind. Um, but I still managed to have fun with it, man. I mean, that's really why I enjoy training so much, because I have fun with my training. You know, everything is not super serious, super high pressure. You know, you have to do this or else your life depends on it. You know, everything doesn't have to be like that. You know, just have fun with it. You know, set goals in mind, smash the goals, and just make things fun. You know, compete in meets, compete in whatever competition. You know, just make it fun. Um, but yeah, that's just a few things that I just wanted to go over. Those are things that I keep in mind, and things that you should definitely keep in mind. And what I want you guys to do is, you know, if you enjoyed the video, of course, like, comment, subscribe. What I want you to do, what I want you to do is comment, you know, a few things that you like to keep in mind, when it comes to not even just the fitness industry, but whatever it is that you enjoy doing, or when in your career or whatever. What are things that you keep in mind, you know, to keep yourself afloat in whatever field of interest you're in. So that's my challenge to you guys. But anyway, again, if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like it, then, you know, dislike it. Um, Report me. Let me know that you hate my videos. Whatever you want to do, um, it's up to you. But that is it, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.